All right, and 365 days of horsemanship. Day 234 and day 235. I've not even like finished the intro and I'm already yawning. Oh my goodness. I honestly feel like I'm just like trudging through clay, honestly. Yeah, it's just so wild. Yeah, qualifying at work as a clinician has been great, but it's exhausting because now I'm responsible for everything that happens on a shift, and the sort of extra mental load is just really making me tired. And I've also still got like family stuff going on as well, which just really like takes out of you when one of your family members is unwell. And yeah, so it's been challenging. I missed 2 days this week, which I was really frustrated about and I really got on top of myself about. And actually, it's okay. You know, like I feel like a lot of my work at the moment has been around breaking the cycles. Like it, you know, I've just like felt myself in this place where I'm like, how can I just end up in the same place over and over and over again where, you know, I'll do so great for so long and then, you know, one little slip and it's like whoop, down the mountain we go, and then it's hard to come again and it's hard to remember why I love it so much. And it's hard to find that extra piece. And I think what that is the fact that it's never enough. In my head, I'm never satisfied. It's never good enough. What I've done, it's never good enough. And, you know, when I think back to where I was, you know, 235 days ago, when I was not coming anywhere near every day for horsemanship, and to where I am now, where, you know, 2 days of not coming is like, what? And you know, like, that's an amazing thing. And it's like the biggest reason that, you know, the last couple of days, and like today, for example, you know, I said to myself, oh yeah, but like there's no point in going because, you know, what I really want to do is like bring them up and take them in the arena and do all of Mia's plats and like all these like unrealistic like hours worth of work that I want to achieve today. And so I was like, oh yeah, but there's no point in me just going for like 10 minutes just to be in the field with them. Like, it's pointless. And it's not. Like, doing something because I want to do it is not pointless. And actually I had the most wonderful time. I had a really interesting session with Mia, both like super short sessions. Oh, excuse me. I've been on a shift today. I was on a shift yesterday. I've got a shift tomorrow. So I'm right in the middle of a run as well. And yeah, you know, and actually there was so much value in what I did today, and I feel so like mentally energized from it. And it's crazy how powerful all these weird little pieces of trauma are in my mind, and I can identify where some of them come from now, and why I'm so, you know, sort of hard on myself, and why I'm so sort of against sort of having any fun. And yeah, and I think I'm really in a place where I want to break the cycle of just not feeling like I can do something just because I want to do it. You know, like, actually, I really enjoy my short sessions. Why should I punish myself by saying, oh yeah, but you're lazy because you didn't do 2 hours? And so then that puts this really negative spin on something that I actually really love. I love my short sessions. I love the idea that I'm coming up and I'm just coming to check in to see how we are. I'm just breathing for a while with everyone, and like, I'm happy. Like, I'm literally happy. And you know, I'm going back to really the first sessions I had, where I think like probably not even 10 or 20 days in, I said to myself, I got 2 rules, you know, and I don't even remember what the first one was, but I remember the second one. The second one was that it has to be, whatever we're doing has to be within everybody's bandwidth. And it's like, yeah, like it's just this simple, like, just turn up. And if all I can do is that small amount, then I need to be happy about that. I need to rather than, you know, like constantly pushing, I think it's this like hustle culture, or this like question mark, like, yeah, but can you do more though? Like this productivity culture that we're in, where it's like, I consider my personal boundaries and then I push my own boundaries within myself. And like, mind-blowingly, that is just so like backwards, you know, like I'll set the boundary within myself. I'll say, today I'm really tired and I can't do more than 5 minutes. And then to myself, in my own head, I'll go, yeah, but could you do like 10 or 20 though? No, that's the boundary. And like allowing myself to set that boundary with myself is really important. And yeah, today with Mia, I had a lovely session where I actually found that I really didn't want to go around her other side. And I'm talking like such subtle conversations, but it felt really good because I really felt like this connection between us, which was so cool. Like I really felt like she was interested. Things were repeatable. They were happening consistently over and over again. So it's in the field, and it's me, then Mia, and then this other horse behind her who's like super interested in me normally. And what's happened a few times recently is I've come in to have the session with Mia, and they have then interrupted, and then I've ended up having like a 10 or 20 minute conversation with them about like basically like trying to get them to leave me alone. And Mia doesn't really get any attention from that. Whereas today, I didn't want to get involved in a conversation with this horse. And so I stayed on the side where, like, so that she was in between me and them. And actually it was really interesting because I'm there and that was working kind of well. And I'm trying to stay in sync with her, but I'm noticing that she's moving very suddenly all the time, like very unpredictable. But then because I don't want to move around the other side, I'm just walking like head to tail and back again at a sort of like small to medium distance and just waiting. And then every time she then moved, because I was moving, I was then able to be in flow with her. And then I would take a couple of breaths and then I would try to start moving again, like walking again, before she then took the next unpredictable step. And I found that really quickly she was trying then to keep me in sync with her, or just keep us in sync together. And it was amazing. It felt like we were dancing. It felt like, you know, like I would take a few steps and then we would take a step together, and then I would breathe with her for a couple of breaths. And then on the third breath, I would say, oh, can we do a third breath? We'll try and do a third breath. And then I'll move and she would move with me. And so then I was able to have one more breath, and then she would move and I would have to start moving again. But it felt like we were in this kind of dance together, which is amazing because that's exactly kind of like what I've always wanted to have. With Lawrence, it was lovely. Like he was just resting with the herd, and I came up to him and I was able to just rest my hand on him in a couple of spots. And just wait for him to feel better about that while I was in that spot. And that was cool as well. There wasn't anything especially like exciting about Lawrence and I's session, but I'm really glad that I came. And I'm really glad that I gave Mia that extra time today, because yesterday I came up and I came up with my partner, which was the sweetest thing in the world. It was so lovely. I had to dress Lawrence's feet. I've basically... excuse me. I basically packed his feet with like a sort of silver thrush mix to try and help basically get rid of any like infection bacteria or anything, and also just dry his feet out. So he's got these boots on, so I've packed the soles of his frogs and then wrapped in like a dry poultice and put the boot on. And so I had to do that yesterday, and I asked my fiance to come with me because it's dark and it's cold and Lawrence gets stressed on the yard, and I was going to have to bring up him and Mia and then manage him, and I just knew we were going to end up getting in a fight I didn't want to get into. And so I brought my fiance with me, who was just wonderful, and Lawrence loved it. You know, my fiance was just talking to him the whole time, like telling him a little story, like saying like, oh, we're now like 50% done, you're nearly there, you're doing so good, you're being so brave. Like every time I would pick a foot up, he'd be like, oh, good boy. Like he was so good. Like honestly, 10 out of 10 yard assistant. He's not for hire because he's too good. Yeah, and so I'd spent a lot of time with Lawrence yesterday, and it was lovely actually to have that extra help and to have it be such a positive session for Lawrence. At no point, we had one stress poo the entire time. And at no point was he calling for the herd or looking out towards the herd or anything like that, which was so super. And Mia was fantastic. Like, I literally brought her up, gave her a little feed, put her on the hay net, and she was happy and chilling and easygoing. She didn't cause any problems. And I gave her a bit of grass at the end, but I still felt that today I really wanted to spend that time with her first, which is what I did. And yeah, I think, you know, I just really like want to get into this place of enjoyment. Like, horses are my hobby, horses are what I love, and like I'm putting all this crazy pressure on myself all the time for like no reason. Like, I'm literally never happy. Like, it doesn't matter what I do, I always am like the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And it's like, not only is it the next thing, and then looking back on the thing I just did and criticizing myself for not doing something else or more. And yeah, I just really got to get myself out of this headspace. So, you know, I remember actually my first boyfriend said something really poignant to me, and I think it's really relevant to me this week. He was a very fearless person, and I remember one time I was cliff jumping with him, and he said to me, He jumped, you know, like a bazillion times off this cliff, and I was terrified. It must have taken me half an hour to get off this cliff. Honestly, that's what it felt like. Like, it literally took me so long. And every time I'd go to jump, I would like have to stop myself because I was so scared. And I said to him afterwards, like, I'm never doing that again. I don't want to do it. I'm really sorry. And he said, no, that's fine. Like, you were really brave to do it. And I was like, no, I wasn't. It took me ages. And he said, yeah, but that's what makes you brave. You're not brave because you did something. You're brave because you did something hard. If you're not scared of something or it's not difficult, then that's not brave. And it really stuck with me. And I feel that way about this week. Like, and these last sort of couple of weeks since I've been back, and things have been challenging. And I think every achievement, every success that I'm making during this difficult time is like infinitely more valuable in a way, because it's been difficult. And when it's difficult, these days that I have when I'm able to come up, you know, and I filmed this video today, and that's really good too. Like, I'm really like plugging on through, and that's really valuable. And I think that, you know, I feel that way about it in myself, where I'm like, yeah, do you know what, actually I'm doing really fantastic actually to be doing all of this stuff and getting all this stuff done. I'm proud of myself, and just really those like positive affirmations, and that's really the energy that I want to kind of bring to the horses as well. And yeah, bring them real kind of quality. And yeah, so it's been good. I have to say that finishing up this session, this video now, I am excited about the prospect of tomorrow. Whereas these last couple of days where, you know, until yesterday I hadn't come for 2 days, it was like the pressure and the anxiety and the stress was like building and making it a really uncomfortable prospect to have to push through that hurdle to get back up here. And actually now I've been today, I'm now excited about tomorrow. And so that's good. So I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna get some rest, and I'll see you all tomorrow.